Did you know that in 2025, the United States has placed a ban on travelers from 5 Asian countries? These shocking travel restrictions have left the world questioning why these nations? And what does it mean for global relations? Stay tuned, because in this video, we'll uncover the truth behind these new bans. Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the latest on global news and travel trends. Today, we're diving deep into the why and how of the US's decision to impose travel bans on 5 specific Asian countries in 2025. We'll explore the criteria behind these decisions, reveal the affected countries, and discuss the potential implications for global politics and travelers alike. Number 5. Myanmar, also known as Burma, is facing renewed international scrutiny in 2025, resulting in its inclusion in the US travel ban list. The decision stems from the ongoing political and humanitarian crisis following the military coup in 2021. The US government cites severe human rights violations, including crackdowns on pro-democracy protesters, suppression of freedom of speech, and atrocities against ethnic minorities such as the Rohingya. Reports of extrajudicial killings, mass displacement, and the destruction of villages have alarmed the global community. The US ban aims to highlight these abuses while protecting American travelers from potential risks, including arbitrary detentions and limited access to legal recourse. Myanmar's complex history, rich cultural heritage, and natural beauty, however, remain overshadowed by its current political turmoil. For travelers, the ban limits access to some of Southeast Asia's most stunning destinations, such as the ancient temples of Bagan, Inal Lake, and the bustling city of Yangon. Tourism, a significant source of revenue for Myanmar, has suffered drastically since the coup, with many countries discouraging travel to the region. Economically, the nation is in turmoil, with widespread poverty and unemployment exacerbated by international sanctions and reduced foreign investment. The ban also affects humanitarian efforts, as NGOs face increasing challenges in providing aid to displaced communities and addressing food insecurity. Diplomatically, the US ban sends a clear message of condemnation against the military junta, aligning with international calls for restoring democracy and protecting human rights. However, critics argue that such measures could further isolate Myanmar's civilian population, who are already enduring immense hardships. For the people of Myanmar, the ban complicates opportunities for education, cultural exchange, and economic development. Meanwhile, regional neighbors, including India and China, continue to influence Myanmar's future through trade and diplomatic ties. Despite the challenges, Myanmar's resilience and rich traditions offer hope for a brighter future. The US travel ban serves as a reminder of the global stakes in addressing the nation's ongoing crisis, balancing accountability with support for its people. Number 4. North Korea, officially the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, has been under stringent US sanctions and travel restrictions for years, and in 2025, the ban has been further reinforced. The US government cites escalating nuclear threats, human rights abuses, and heightened military provocations as reasons for maintaining the ban. North Korea's nuclear weapons program remains a central concern for global security, with repeated missile tests threatening peace in the region. Under the leadership of Kim Jong-un, the nation continues its isolationist policies, emphasizing its military-first approach while neglecting economic and social development. Reports of widespread human rights violations, including forced labor camps, severe censorship, and lack of religious freedom, have drawn sharp criticism from the international community. The US ban reflects not just concerns for the safety of its citizens but also a stance against the regime's oppressive practices. For travelers, North Korea remains one of the most closed-off countries in the world. While some have ventured there under tightly controlled tours, the risks of arbitrary detention and limited consular support are significant deterrents. The country's economy, heavily dependent on China, struggles under the weight of international sanctions. Despite its isolation, North Korea boasts unique cultural and historical landmarks, such as the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, Mount Pektu, and the Juche Tower. However, these are overshadowed by the nation's propaganda-driven narrative and strict surveillance of visitors. The ban affects humanitarian efforts as well, as international NGOs face difficulties in providing aid to North Korea's vulnerable populations, who suffer from chronic food shortages and poverty. Diplomatically, the ban reflects the ongoing stalemate between the US and North Korea, with peace talks yielding little progress. Critics argue that isolating the nation further may entrench the regime's hardline stance, while proponents see the ban as necessary leverage to pressure Pyongyang into denuclearization. For North Koreans, limited exposure to the outside world continues to stifle progress and opportunities. Cultural exchange, which could foster mutual understanding, is nearly non-existent. Despite its challenges, North Korea remains a focal point in global politics, with its actions influencing regional and international strategies. The 2025 ban underscores the critical importance of addressing the nation's policies while protecting U.S. citizens from potential risks. Number 3. India, the world's largest democracy, is an unexpected addition to the U.S. travel ban list in 2025. The decision has sparked widespread debate, with the U.S. citing rising concerns over press freedom, religious tensions, and increasing restrictions on civil liberties. India, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has faced criticism for its handling of issues related to minority rights, particularly regarding its Muslim population. The Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA, and the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir have been points of contention both domestically and internationally. The U.S. travel ban also highlights safety concerns for foreign nationals in India, including cases of gender-based violence and increasing unrest during political protests. Despite these challenges, India remains a cultural and economic powerhouse, home to iconic landmarks like the Taj Mahal, Jaipur's palaces, and Kerala's backwaters. Economically, India's growth has been impressive, driven by advancements in technology, pharmaceuticals, and manufacturing. However, rising income inequality and unemployment pose significant challenges. India's geopolitical position in South Asia, bordering countries like China and Pakistan, makes it a critical player in regional stability. The U.S. ban on travel, while symbolic, may affect bilateral trade and investment, particularly in the technology and services sectors where India plays a leading role. Critics of the ban argue that it risks alienating India, a key partner in counterbalancing China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific region. Additionally, the Indian diaspora in the U.S., which is among the largest and most successful immigrant groups, views the ban as a setback for cross-cultural and familial ties. For travelers, the restrictions limit access to India's vibrant festivals, like Diwali and Holi, which attract millions from around the globe. Activists caution that such bans may undermine grassroots movements advocating for change within India. Environmental concerns, including severe air pollution in cities like Delhi and water scarcity in rural regions, are issues that require global collaboration. India's response to the ban has been measured, emphasizing its commitment to sovereignty and democratic processes. Meanwhile, analysts suggest that the U.S. move could push India closer to other global powers, such as Russia and China. For now, India remains a dynamic and complex nation, navigating its path amid global scrutiny and internal challenges. The travel ban reflects deeper geopolitical shifts, with significant implications for U.S.-India relations and the broader global order. Number 2. Turkey, a nation bridging Europe and Asia, finds itself under scrutiny in 2025, leading to its inclusion in the U.S. travel ban list. The decision stems from Turkey's evolving political landscape, marked by growing authoritarianism under President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's government. Concerns over press freedom, judicial independence, and human rights violations have been major contributors to the strained relations. Turkey's involvement in regional conflicts, particularly in Syria, and its disputes with NATO allies have raised alarms internationally. The U.S. government justifies the travel ban by citing safety concerns for American citizens, including arbitrary detentions and limited consular access in Turkey. Despite these issues, Turkey remains a cultural gem, with historical landmarks like the Hagia Sophia, Cappadocia's fairy chimneys, and the ancient city of Ephesus. Tourism, a critical sector of Turkey's economy, is expected to face significant setbacks as fewer international visitors travel to the country. Economically, Turkey's increasing reliance on trade with non-Western countries, particularly Russia and China, further distances it from the U.S. and its allies. Turkey's strategic control of the Bosporus Strait, a crucial waterway for global trade, adds another layer of complexity to its geopolitical significance. While the U.S. ban primarily affects tourism, it also underscores broader concerns about Turkey's direction under its current administration. Critics argue that such restrictions may alienate Turkish citizens, many of whom advocate for democratic reforms. Additionally, Turkey's role as a host to millions of Syrian refugees highlights its importance in addressing global humanitarian crises. The U.S. ban also reflects deeper tensions regarding Turkey's acquisition of Russian defense systems and its strained relationship with NATO. For Turkish nationals, the restrictions complicate travel plans, family connections, and professional opportunities in the U.S. Meanwhile, activists warn that isolating Turkey could embolden its leadership to continue policies seen as contrary to Western democratic values. On the cultural front, Turkey's vibrant art, music, and culinary traditions remain integral to its global identity, even amid political challenges. Environmental issues, such as the degradation of the unique ecosystems in the Aegean and Mediterranean regions, are also points of concern. The U.S. government hopes the travel ban will signal the need for change while protecting American citizens. However, the long-term impact on U.S.-Turkey relations and regional stability remains uncertain. As Turkey navigates its role on the global stage, the world watches closely, hoping for a future where its rich heritage aligns with democratic progress.
Number 1.
China, the world's most populous nation and a leading global power, is facing heightened restrictions in 2025 due to growing geopolitical tensions with the US. The decision to impose a travel ban on China is driven by multiple factors, including concerns over national security, intellectual property theft, and alleged human rights abuses. The US government cites issues like China's increasing surveillance measures, particularly targeting foreign nationals, as a significant risk for travelers. Additionally, China's handling of the Xinjiang Uyghur crisis, with allegations of forced labor and cultural suppression, has drawn widespread international condemnation. The US ban is symbolic of the strained relations between the two superpowers, exacerbated by economic competition and military posturing in the South China Sea. Despite these tensions, China continues to be a cultural and historical powerhouse, home to iconic landmarks such as the Great Wall, the Forbidden City, and the Terracotta Army. Its rich history, spanning thousands of years, offers insights into ancient philosophies, traditions, and technological advancements. However, these cultural treasures are overshadowed by the current political climate. The US also raises concerns about cybersecurity risks, with claims that Chinese technologies could be used for espionage. Critics argue that the travel ban could hurt cultural and academic exchanges, as thousands of Chinese students and scholars contribute to US institutions annually. Economically, the ban is expected to impact tourism, a sector that supports millions of jobs in China. For instance, iconic destinations like Shanghai, Beijing, and Xi'an may see fewer international visitors, affecting local businesses. On the diplomatic front, China perceives the ban as an aggressive move, further complicating efforts to mend ties between the two nations. Meanwhile, human rights advocates applaud the ban as a stand against China's alleged abuses but caution against isolating its people. The ban also highlights concerns about China's influence on global trade and technology, with the US aiming to protect its strategic interests. For Chinese nationals, the travel restrictions complicate family reunions, academic opportunities, and professional engagements. While some experts view the ban as a temporary political maneuver, others warn of its long-term implications for US-China relations. Environmentalists also worry that reduced cooperation between the two nations may hinder global efforts to combat climate change. Despite these challenges, China's resilience as an economic and cultural hub continues to captivate global attention. With a population exceeding 1.4 billion, China's domestic market remains a force to be reckoned with, even amidst international scrutiny. The travel ban, though significant, is part of a broader strategy to address US concerns over China's growing influence and policies. Whether this move will lead to meaningful change or further escalate tensions remains to be seen. For now, China stands as a critical player on the global stage, navigating a complex web of challenges and opportunities. And there you have it, the 5 Asian countries banned under the US's new 2025 travel restrictions. While these policies aim to address security concerns, they also highlight the complexities of international relations. What are your thoughts on these bans? Do they seem justified, or do they raise more questions than answers? Drop your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analyses on global issues. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious.